Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are talking about volume in our hair and fun ways, old school ways that probably your mama or your grandmother used to do back in the day. It's just a fun way that I used to add volume to my hair back when I had a really fun social life. So I haven't done it in a super long time, and it was fun to kind of film it and talk about it because it still works. So if you're interested in getting some volume in your hair, keep on watching. Okay, so there are a couple ways that you could start this. You could start with your hair completely wet, but for me, I sometimes like to do this when my hair is completely dry because then it's just a little bit less work while we're actually putting in the rollers, which is what I use. So obviously you could use heat rollers, but I personally like these old school, just straight up Velcro guys. These are super cheap and they're not as like heavy and bulky as the heat ones. The heat ones are nice because they're already hot and you won't have to use your blow dryer. But I just like these because they're just, again, they're lighter. They're kind of more easy to use. They don't have giant clips that live on them and stuff. And you just need one of these and a bobby pin. I like the big ones because they're a little bit looser and then they won't leave like a crease in your hair or anything. As far as where I like to apply them, you need heat to use these guys. So what I like to do is, most people's volume is gonna live like the crown of their head, right? So I haven't done this in a very long time, so we're gonna learn this together, almost all over again. This was actually one of the first YouTube tutorials I ever watched, which is really funny. All right, so I'm just gonna separate my hair. And it is all completely dry and I have zero product in my hair. The only thing that I have is the Color Wow Dream Coat in it. I didn't put any volumizing anything in my hair. So what I'm gonna do, separate my hair where I want the first set of rollers to live. I'm going to put them somewhere up in here, kind of twist that, and then the other side is going to live right below my part. I'm going to twist that down. Okay, so all this hair, I'm going to get out of the way, and I need a clip to do that. So as far as products, what helps me achieve a lot of volume is some sort of volumizing product. For this particular step, I like to use a spray just because it's easier to put in your hair when you're doing it this type of way. If you were gonna do this with your hair wet, I would just use a mousse because I have one from Amika that I really like, but because I'm choosing to do this when it's already dry, I'm gonna go for a spray. So this is It's a 10 Miracle Blow Dry Volumizer. So I'm gonna read it quickly to see if it asks you. So it doesn't want it on damp hair. So I'm gonna take my spray bottle, and I'm just gonna spray like the root, and it's okay to get this wet because we're gonna get this wet in a minute anyway. So I'm just gonna spray the root where I'm gonna put the product. And I'm not gonna go crazy because I don't wanna soak my head. I just wanna get it wet so that the product will work better. Shake this up. And I'm just gonna lightly give this a spray. This stuff works really well and it smells nice too. And again, it's okay to get it on the top part because you're gonna need to put it there anyway. All right, now kind of rub that in. I'm gonna take our roller and I'm gonna take the first piece. So we're gonna work our way like around our head. So I'm gonna take my first piece, and the way you'll know how much to take is you'll know the width of your roller, right? So I'll know that I'll take probably like 1.5 inches to 2 inches. So I'm gonna take this piece here. It's probably good. You don't wanna go too much. And I'm actually gonna clip the rest of the hair out of the way. Make your life easier. Just pull that away. I'm just gonna take this piece and we're gonna blow dry it as we normally would. And what you wanna do is when you're blow drying it, make sure you blow dry it up. And then the point of this is to get the product to dry, obviously, and then you want your hair to be really warm, okay? So don't use your cold shot yet, just keep it nice and warm, and then that's where the roller will come into play. All right, I'm gonna set that down. I'm gonna take this piece. This is really warm here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag the roller into that piece, and I'm just gonna swoop my hair around it and then have it sit just like this. So I'm gonna take a bobby pin, and I like to pin it from the back just because you can kind of hide any issues easier back there. And you just want to pin it where it's sitting on your head. And honestly, depending on the type of hair you have, you could probably get away with not even using a bobby pin, just because if your hair is kind of more thin, it's going to sit inside the Velcro of these rollers, so it shouldn't move. But because I'm going to work around next to them, sometimes they can get pulled by the brush or something and they can kind of wiggle out, so I just put the bobby pin in just to prevent that from happening. So I'm actually going to spray a little bit of this in the back because I didn't. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to keep moving around. So I'm just going to drag my finger to the back of my hair. I have a pretty pretty good chunk here. And we're just gonna blow that out. Okay. Like I said, keep that piece nice and warm. And you just wanna have it sit on the root there. Twirl your other hair into it and clip them down. And we're just gonna do that around our head until we get to this side. So I'll just fast forward it. Okay, now that we look super cute, these pieces just want to like live their own life. All right, so this is when it starts to get a little bit tricky, and also where I wish I had a smaller brush because this thing is so massive, but we'll work with it. And I also wish I did not wear a long sleeve shirt because I'm sweating. So we're gonna do the same thing, and this is where it gets tricky because when you use the brush this closely to your roller, sometimes the brush will pick up hair that's living in the roller, so you really just wanna be kind of patient with yourself. And when I get to the top here, this is one where a lot of your volume is going to come from, and two, I want to separate my bangs because if you don't have bangs, you don't need to worry about this. Well, they're not bangs, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to take the front section, which are my bangs, and I'm actually going to separate them. So I'm going to take these guys out, and I'm going to use that clip to just kind of have my hair live here. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm going to separate this like this. And you don't need to make this perfect. The whole idea is to get your hair to live in a round roller at the top of your head and have this root section like get cooled in this type of shape so that it adds that volume and it makes the hair be up as opposed to just sitting flat on your head. This is also a really good trick to use when you just want to like, if you got your hair blow dried and you just want to add some volume to it the next day if it's gotten flat, like you got some bedhead or something. This is like a fun way to just add that really easily. So this, I'm just gonna brush that product in, and I'm gonna try to be gentle so I don't pull a bunch of my hair out from the rollers that are already on my head. All right, so this is a thicker piece of hair, so it's not gonna wanna live in this tiny, thin Velcro roller as much as these guys do because these were thin. So I'm gonna do my best to make it live in here. So I'm just gonna twirl the other hair to live on the side there and get this down. Use a big volume pin if you have it. Smash that in there. Make sure that lives there. And we got 2 pieces to go. Okay, those go away. All right, I'm just gonna spray this gently so we don't get what we just dried wet. Again, spray that, brush it through. And this is already kind of loosening. But again, as long as it's just like sitting there, it doesn't need to be tight and perfect. As long as it's giving that shape to the root of your hair, then you're good. So I'm gonna blow dry this guy carefully. Okay, smooth this out. It's nice and hot. The more you can get it like a lot of tension here, the better. And I'm just gonna try to make that piece live somewhere. I don't care so much about the ends of the hair. I'm sweating. Okay, last piece. So bangs you can decide, or the front of your hair, however you want to, whatever you have to work with. Sometimes I have them flip this way with the way that I did the other top, or sometimes I have them flipped this way. And to be honest, I don't really remember or have a preference anymore about which way I want to do it. So just for the sake of switching things up, I think I'm going to have them go this way. So because this is the front of my hair and I don't want like this thing to happen, I'm not going to put product here just because I don't really want it to be like too voluminous, because this stuff really does work pretty well. I'm just going to heat this up, and then I'm going to let it sit in the roller. I'm not going to put any product at the front. Nice and hot. I'm actually going to use a different size. So I have these smaller purple ones, and I'm just going to use that for my bangs just because I don't want them to be too like, you know. And this is the example where you don't really need the bobby pins, it'll just stay. And I'm not about to like head thrash or anything, so they're fine where they are. This is the roller part. And typically if I were getting ready, I would be doing my makeup while these cool, but because my face is already done, I'm just gonna let these cool. I mean, it stops working once they're cool, right? So I'm just gonna let them sit. You can, if you're in a rush, you can take your blow dryer and gently blow dry them on the with the cool shot button. That way they'll cool quicker. But for me, I'm not really like in a mega rush, so I'm probably gonna go make a nice coffee really fast. And then when I get back, I'll see if these guys are cool, and we will take them out to reveal. Okay, so now that we're back, I am going to take care of these situations, my lovely, I don't even know what you call these things, my wings, my flyaways, my whatever they're called. So I'm just gonna turn on my straightener. I don't think I mentioned where I got these. I'm pretty sure I got these so long ago that it was like before the Amazon days. So I'm pretty sure I got these at like CVS, but I'm gonna post a link for you guys to probably find them on the Zon, because what doesn't Amazon sell? So I said this was like one of the first YouTube tutorials I watched, and it was from Carly Bible, who I still love, by the way. I think she was one of the first YouTubers I watched, I think. It was when I became obsessed with extensions, and that's when I realized like, oh, people do make videos about this stuff? And then the rabbit hole began, and here we are. Okay, still not great, but you know what? That's fine. So let's take these guys down. Start by pulling the pins out. And like I said, I haven't done this in a really long time. So we'll see how this turns out together. I used to be like, I mean, I still love volume. It's like if I have flat hair, it's like, that's why my hair is up in a clip a lot. But I used to be completely obsessed with having volume in my hair. So this was one of the first things I learned on YouTube because it works. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna do this. Crazy town. Oh boy. Oh yeah, this works. Oh my God, imagine if we just stayed like this. All right, so what I like to do is just kind of gently, because sometimes depending on your product, it might like harden your roots just a teeny tiny bit. But like, yeah, this works, friends, okay? Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna take a comb and let's try to tame this. So I'm gonna do my best to like not stare at the viewfinder the whole time. So I'm gonna pick up my camera. Just gonna tame this out a little bit. So it's also important to place those rollers where you like your hair to be. So if you have a middle part, obviously don't place them where I had them, place them on either side of the part. I tried to place mine like where this part lives so that it would have a little volume over that part, and then it would just shape the way I like my hair to be shaped. So you just keep that in mind when you're placing in rollers. So you could just leave it like this, which works. I mean, just kind of brush it out and make sure there's no like obvious indents or like anything crazy. But I tend to, especially if I'm going out, and honestly the last time I did this I was like in college and I like was out all night long, so I would use the hairspray and tease and do all that jazz. So if you're out there living your best life and you're going out dancing and doing fun stuff, which you're probably not right now because hashtag COVID-19, but who says we can't have volume at home, right? So what I would do is I'm just gonna take my roots, and I'm just using, this is the Amika, the Fluxus spray. Should probably use like should probably use a volumizing hairspray, but I don't have one. So we're just gonna, cause I just like texture, right? That's what gives you volume. When your hair is perfectly clean, which mine was, I washed it last night. I hate clean hair. It's just so, when it's clean, it's so silky, and which is nice, but as far as the roots go, you want texture to keep that volume and make it thick and really voluminous. And then I'm just gonna take my comb and gently tease the areas that I know I like volume. And typically before I would leave the house, it would be like super scary volume. My friends would be like, you need to go to the bathroom and check on your hair. And I'm like, no, don't touch it. I'm like, 'cause it'll fall and then it will be perfect. So you kind of almost have to overdo it at first and then let it, you know, fall and stuff. But yeah, bam, you got some volume, my friends. I love this trick. It's super fun, and it's really not that hard, and you don't need to deal with, you know, the hot rollers and all that's burning your, I would always burn my fingers on hot rollers. So these little, the little Velcro ones are super easy. And you don't need to do your whole head. You can just do your bangs if you want that nice like little swoop action, or just like the top little strip here to add just volume on one side. You can really just have fun with it. And it's, as long as you have heat to your head with a blow dryer or something, it works. So yeah, I will link a place for you to get these. I'm just Amazon, I'm sure has them. I'll link everything that I used in the video down below. I'll link everything I used in the video down below like I always do. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.